Today's talk. We are happy to invite here His Grace Munindira Gana Prabhu. Please welcome him with a big Haribol. Please Prabhu, come forward. I have to say, today we had to change schedule. Initially, Adi Keshwa Prabhu was scheduled to give the talk today. Due to some emergency, we had to change. And just an hour before, Munindra Gana Prabhu got the news and accepted. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for accepting this in a short notice. And since I had no time to ask about your background and your services, I will just mention some, and please correct me if it's correct. Prabhu is from Simhachalam, disciple of His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. And I think one of your favorite services is book distribution, Sankirtan, sharing Krishna consciousness on the street with all the world and the people. And anything you want to add? It's okay. And okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. And before we start, 2 questions. Braucht jemand eine deutsche Übersetzung? Wir haben meistens Englisch. Ja. Ist okay? Okay, gut. Braucht jemand eine deutsche Übersetzung? English is okay for everyone? Good. And then I also request, please, come closer. Today, smaller circle, it's cold, so please come closer that we get some warm. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Rama Rama, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Rama Rama, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Rama Rama, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Gaura Premanande, Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. Thank you that I was invited. I'm also a little bit surprised. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. Nice to see you. Some faces I know from before, some not. But it's nice to see you all. And please forgive me, my English is not so very good, but I try my best to give the lecture in English. I had only very short time to make some thoughts, to prepare, to search for a topic. And somehow I searched for the verse 7:7 in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe some of you know this verse. It's a very beautiful verse. And I try to connect my thoughts and try to get my English together, that I can say some inspiring words. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, okay, at first I read the Sanskrit, then the translation, and then the purport from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Mata parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam proptam sutre mani ganaiva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. Here Krishna speaks to Arjuna. It's a beautiful verse. It's a very well-known verse. Let's hear the purport from Srila Prabhupada. There is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. And this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. That the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth is also the affirmation of Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That is the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasures, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalists, however, argue on the strength of the Vedic version given in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.10. Tato yad tatarataram tat arupam anamayam. Ye etat vidur amritas te bhavanti adhetare dukham eva biyanti. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is the Transcendence, who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him, Krishna, also becomes transcendental. But those who do not know him, suffer the miseries of the material world. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam. But this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss and knowledge, as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Another verse in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3:8 and 9 substantiate this as follows. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material concepts of darkness. Only he who knows him can transcend the bounds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person, because he is supermost. He is smaller than the smallest. He is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree, and he illuminates the transcendental sky. And as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From this verse, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. Yes. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militan Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna again. Now back to our verse. It's a very interesting verse. But maybe at first, for the beginning, we are actually now in the 7th chapter. And this chapter, the title of the chapter is Knowledge of the Absolute. And actually this chapter started not so long ago. We are in the 7th verse. And that we connect a little bit with the whole. Oh, Hare Krishna, it's much some days. That we have a small overview or small different kinds of connections that we go into this verse, to this topic, that we analyze a little bit or try to be aware where we are, what we hear, how we can connect. And actually, this is about the knowledge of the Absolute. And actually, this 7th chapter is actually where the Bhakti Yoga section is starting. The first 6 chapters are Karma Yoga. Then the second 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 are Jnana Yoga. And actually, these middle 6 chapters, like also the 7th, like the first of these middle 6 chapters, is actually protected by this both, by the activity, by this Karma Yoga, and also by knowledge, but also with spiritual knowledge. They are actually, guided or protected Bhakti Yoga. That's why it's described only for a short side understanding. And now we are starting here with this so-called Bhakti Yoga chapter, or one of these 6 chapters. And here we will hear different topics about the Absolute or connected with the Absolute, what we also hear now in this verse. And Krishna is telling here to Arjuna that he's the conqueror of wealth, and he's telling there is no superior truth to me. Actually, no truth is beyond Krishna, actually. And everything rests upon me, like pearls are strung on a thread. It's actually very, very strong words, actually very strong input what we get here. No truth is above Krishna, and actually he is sheltering everything and everyone in this material world. It's a really impressive verse. It's really clear, and that's why also Prabhupada mentions a little bit in the purports with impersonalism that it's possible somehow to understand in an impersonal way, but it's actually really difficult if we have a little bit more background knowledge and what to say, some faith in Krishna or in devotees or in the path of Bhakti Yoga. And also in Krishna, and also in different topics related to Krishna, because now we hear in this chapter also there are also topics described about the energy of the Lord, different things what's related to him. And actually we should learn, or we can learn, we have the opportunity to try to connect everything with Krishna. We often hear this, we maybe sometimes tried it, whatever, but this is not so easy in our daily life. If we are, for example, we are running to the bus and then we going to our job and this and that, or are with our families, or with our children, or whatever, what we do, maybe we're going shopping, we have to buy some vegetables to cook or whatever. It's not so easy all the time to connect with Krishna. But if we truthfully really try to read the scriptures, try to hear actually, then we can go step by step deeper and can connect with Krishna. Now, at next, I would like to go with you together to some other verses also, what was the beginning in this chapter, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that this 7th chapter, actually, he gives the title Vijnana Yoga to this chapter. That means not like we hear here knowledge of the absolute, but Vijnana is actually realized knowledge. This is like if we realize something, then it's a deeper connection. Actually, with realization, actually we can go really deep in spiritual life. With knowledge is nice. For example, we know some verses by heart, but if we don't have a realization behind, we not really made experience with this knowledge, for example, with different kinds of knowledge. Let's give a very, very simple example. Now is winter, everybody knows, it's really cold outside. In Germany, where I'm coming from, there was like the days -10, sometimes even -15 in the night. It's really cold, freezing cold. Here is way more better, at least way more nice. But everybody knows that in winter, for example, the streets are freezing or frozen. And who has a driving lesson? All of you? Not so less. Only 3-4 people. Really? Okay. It's not necessary here in Zurich. It's not so important here because tram is everywhere driving. But anyway, maybe everybody can get the point if you are driving a car and the street is frozen and we can easily slide on it. If maybe somebody had this experience, you're driving and the car is sliding away. Actually, it's like we can hear it or we can experiencing it. This is like a material experience, but still we collect then some experience with it and then become somehow Vijnana. Oh, I know how it is. And important is there also, not so long ago I read, sorry I forgot in which scripture, actually it was like, how to say, academic scripture from Hungarian devotees, from the Bhaktivedanta High School, that they explained that actually if we connect, we have some experience and there are feelings coming up with this experience, then this experience goes really deep. It makes a deep impression on us. Can you believe you're driving on the highway and your car starts? There are some emotions will come or some fear, something will, and it gives a deep impression also. And then you get this Vijnana will become stronger, because you have a deep experience and you can store it in you. And actually similar, but this becomes only a real value. I mean, that was like I said before, that is a material experience. But if we can connect everything, then every single situation in our life with Krishna, then it becomes really a value. Then it becomes really valuable. And this actually we are looking for. And here we get some different topics what help us to go in here deeper. Actually, the first 3 verses here in the 7th chapter was actually about the glories, about knowledge from Krishna. And then, like from 7:4 to I think 7:12, we have topics about knowledge, about somehow like different kinds of energies of the Lord, we could say. And now we have also this. And I would like to go with you now through some verses. Let's begin with the first verse. In a sense, like a short overview about the verses, and let's try together get maybe something out, that we get some realization. It's difficult to connect and get here so quickly Vijnana out of the verses, but we can maybe, how to say, like Prabhupada is often saying, text your brain. I mean, I think he connected it, text your brain, how to distribute books or how to spread Krishna consciousness. But we can also try to text our brain how we can become more Krishna conscious, how we can meditate more about Krishna, how we can connect more with Krishna. Or, for example, if we are reading, how we can connect these verses that they give an input. And what I before said, also from Satchidananda Swami, many years ago I heard that he was talking about if we can somehow connect some feelings or some emotions with this what we read, then it is really, really nice. And we heard before, then it goes deep in I don't know, English is not so good, but deep in our heart, deep in our mind, we have realizations. It goes in the direction Vijnana, then we store some knowledge, what is more deep in us, and then we can easily connect with this. How to say, and we are like a container of deep impressions, what we can easily recall. And then easily we can in daily life use them. Anyway, let's try to go to the verses from the one verse, for the first verse, what Krishna is telling here in the 7th chapter. Let me check the watch, because time is going very quick. Do you have a watch here? Only behind. It's broken. Where is it? I have one. Yes. Here's one. Normally you have it where? You have some? Oh, there. Okay, that is tricky. It's good for the speaker. Hare Krishna. And the first verse Krishna is mentioning how we can. Sorry, I have to a little bit think in German and also on the same time in English, and also speak it to you in an understandable way that you can get. That hopefully you can get it, or you can get out some beneficial topic out of it. We are allowed to hear how we can completely realize Krishna. That means we are allowed to hear. We can hear. We have the opportunity to hear. And through this, we can realize Krishna. And Krishna is connecting, in a sense, how that we consciously somehow like meditate about him and are consciously practicing yoga, are connected with him. He's giving the hint at first. Okay, we can, through hearing, actually we can also make realizations. And in the second verse, this is actually a very nice verse, what personally I very much like. Here Krishna is telling about the phenomenal and numinous knowledge. Maybe somebody can remember. I can. Das phänomenale und numinöse Wissen. I can read. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. Can you remember? This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. And actually, this phenomenal and numinous knowledge, there is something interesting about it, what I figured out for some time when I was more deeply reading this part. And it's actually connected, this phenomenal knowledge is more connected with the material topics, like the, I don't know in English, the phenomenality maybe, about all different kinds of material knowledge, material, whatever facilities we have. It's phenomenal somehow. But this numinous knowledge is more directed to the spiritual topics. That means there are actually two different parts. We get here also a little bit like a kind of Sankhya yoga, like different spots, material, spiritual, the two different ones. And we can also then connect what we heard before. This phenomenal can be like jnana, knowledge, and the numinous like vijnana, realized. And also, we can also say like jnana is like knowledge, and vijnana is realized knowledge. Like this numinous is like the realized. And Krishna is telling, if we understand the combination of these both, then actually nothing else, I don't know in English, has to be understood or something like this. But I think you got the point. If you realize both, if we somehow can understand both, it's also in Ishopanishad mentioned that it is very helpful, because sometimes in Krishna consciousness we think, oh, we are so spiritual, we know everything, and it's everything spiritual, and matter is not so important. But actually, it's good also to know different parts or different kinds of knowledge, or even many, not every detailed knowledge on the material world, but everything what can help us to understand the material nature, and with it to understand, to connect it with Krishna consciousness, how we can use this to come out of this material world, actually. And also, in the sense, in a connection that we understand this is Krishna's energy. This is Krishna's energy, this is Krishna's creation, and we can try to use it properly, and if we use it properly, then it is okay, and we should use it for a spiritual purpose. But anyway, the more we know different parts and we connect it, the better we can come out and from this material world or use this knowledge. And let's go to verse 3. Then Krishna is telling, it's also very interesting, like among many thousands of people, almost nobody knows me. You know this verse? And everybody can a little bit remember. And only very few are, how to say, determined or try to understand him, to come out of this material world. Yeah, we know this material world is very strong. These energies are working strongly on us, and we are bound by this. And actually somehow Krishna tries to say to Arjuna, try to really understand this importance that actually really very rare people can come out or try to understand me or my knowledge, material world, whatever, what is behind all this matter, and what to say that they can really go home back to Godhead. Very rare people are doing this. And somehow Krishna is giving the hints to Arjuna and also to us. Take it seriously. Take it really seriously, what I'm telling you. And actually he is giving him a hint, make an effort. Please make an effort. He's all the time preaching to Arjuna. Actually a nice way, in a very detached way. Krishna is never pushing Arjuna. He's detached. He gives him he lets him his free will, and also by us. He's not pushing, but he's giving all the knowledge, what we can try to understand in a deep way. And if we are really eager, if we are eager enough, then we will understand these topics deeply, exactly. And then we can experience some connected knowledge where we can have experience, and then it becomes vijnana and more deep, and then more often we can connect with Krishna and see everything connected with Krishna in our daily life. And that's actually, it's not our main goal, but it's actually yes, because it helps to meditate on Krishna in whichever form. Even maybe we see see stone and we see the beauty of Krishna, the energy of Krishna in it. If we really honestly can all the time see everywhere Krishna, then we are Krishna conscious. And in verse 4, there's Krishna describing different elements, material elements like earth, water, fire. And like Krishna is telling, I think in English, like somewhere abgesonderte Energie in my... Anyway, you understand that somehow like the external energies. But again, the point what I made before, that we should understand them. We should somehow, till some degree, maybe realize or analyze them or understand them, that we can use them to come out from here. But Krishna is giving different parts. In this verse, he's describing the material energies. He's describing them different. This like the material energies: earth, water, fire. And then in verse 5, he's describing then the higher energies. And actually, also like the jiva is described, that the jivas are his higher nature, so-called, or higher energy, or superior energy. But Krishna is also in this, I think even in the same sentence, or anyway, or a little bit afterwards, is even describing also, adding to it. But these living entities are, how to say, ausbeuten. They exploit it. They know this the material world, but the jivas, or the living entities, are his super energy, but they exploit or ausbeuten this material energy or material world. It's like a little bit, maybe like with a small smile, Krishna is saying, yeah, I have some super energy, but still they are attached to this matter and try to get out so much as possible. But anyway, we know how to use this. And in the next verse, Krishna is describing himself, that he is the source and also somehow like the end of everything, in some sense, of spiritual and of material nature. And I personally a little bit meditated. Often I try to challenge myself. Sometimes we read something, maybe everybody of you maybe made this experience, or hopefully we read, this makes no sense. And in this part I also meditated, it makes no sense. Krishna is the beginning and the end of material and of spirit. Okay, of material we can somehow understand, but of spiritual? But even we can take it in another part, we can say, yes, we can start our spiritual life, but Krishna can also arrange, anyway, if we, for example, if we don't live according his laws, Bhagavad Gita, as it is, then he can also end the spirits, and then we are again in matter. How to say, more deepen in matter, or again in this material consciousness. That means in some sense also spirituality can end, in some sense. We know not really forever, but in some sense, and we can also somehow like understand somehow in different ways. And also our acharyas are often explaining very interesting topics, what gives us broader overview, how we can understand different things. Anyway, and now we are here in the 7th verse. This we heard. Actually, Krishna is explaining there's no truth about him, and everything somehow rests on him. And it's actually really a really nice meditation, a really deep meditation. And for sure for us is clear Krishna is a person, but not for everybody. But even persons who are not so connected with the Supreme could understand if somebody is really connected with love with Krishna, is explaining about these topics of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyway, we have 15 minutes more. I would like to, I actually prepared something. I found something like some, how to say, explanations from Baladev Vidyabhushana, some nice thoughts regarding to this verse 7.7, but I note it here in German. If you allow, I try to go through, but please excuse my English. I try to translate it, okay, in a simple way. He's quoting even a verse from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yasmat param na param asti kinchad. Yasman naniyo nayayo sti kinchit. And this is explained. There is nothing higher. There is nothing what is unterlegen. Somebody knows what is the superior and inferior. Nothing smaller and nothing greater than the Lord. This is like from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Nothing higher, nothing what is more inferior or lower, nothing smaller or nothing greater than the Lord. It's a very nice explanation from the Lord. And then he's describing to this verse, this should actually show the impossibility that nobody else is actually, in some sense, more than Krishna. Like this verse, or also this verse, what we hear here in 7:7, can show us if we have some kind of little shraddha, some kind of faith in Krishna, or what to say if we made some experience, what give us some deeper vijnana, connected with Krishna, not only on the material platform, what to say then, we can really start to deepen our faith even more. And this gives us actually more and more and more faith in Krishna. And by time also, similarly, more and more love, hopefully. Because we trust in Him, we believe Him, we know He's existing, and we see Him through different things, we are experiencing Him through different things. And then we step by step go deeper and deeper and deeper. And actually that means our relationship with God, with Krishna, is actually more intense and intense and intense. And yeah, I personally love the explanations of Baladev Vidyabhushan, also from Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, and also Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also very beautiful comments to the Bhagavad Gita. And further he is explaining this is a little bit difficult to say. Anyway, I try to see what I can easily translate. Anyway, he's telling here, okay, in this way, actually, the Bhagavad Gita tries to establish that there is really nothing or nobody what is really above Krishna. And Baladev makes it to a fact. So, because now it is a fact that nobody is superior above Krishna, he's telling. He's telling here what is Vorherrschaft, his dominating position, like somehow like his dominating position of Krishna, has to be accepted. Sometimes, similarly, we know often from Srila Prabhupada, he's also a little bit heavy, really straight. It has to be accepted. We know normally we don't preach in a very heavy way. I also personally don't like it. But actually our acharyas did it sometimes, but actually to fight against this nirvishesha shunyavada, these different kinds of philosophies, that Krishna is really established as a person, as the supreme. Anyway, I see again what is here relevant for translation. He's telling in Krishna's words, so kind that, because there is nobody above me, like if Krishna would speak, I'm the only shelter of everybody. That's why everything is aufgereiht, like the pearls, everything is lined on me. This is the same protam. Rest upon me. Yeah. Like pearls on a thread. And with this, that Krishna is saying this, Krishna is also meaning that actually he's telling, you can understand that actually with this sentence, what we hear from Krishna in 7:7, he's also actually, he's saying, wie sagt man, durch die Blume, sagt durch die Blume, that actually he is who supports the whole universe, actually, in some sense. Because somebody who can do this is actually really superior. Yeah. Okay, I think we can come to a... he's the best. Actually, I think we can come to a end. Maybe somebody have some comments, some questions, some inspirations, maybe some realizations that would be interesting. Some kind of vigya somebody likes to share. I think everybody is doing or making some experiences also in Krishna consciousness or related to the topics. Yeah.
I have one question. You quoted one verse from the Shvetashvata Upanishad, and one part of it was that there is nothing inferior to the Supreme Lord. And I cannot understand this point so well, because until now my understanding was that he is the highest, and then we must be some kind of lower, like inferior.
That's a good question. But anyway, I mean, I try to think because I often read the acharyas. Don't take it as a 100% truth, but I try to think with maybe like often what I'm reading from the acharyas, that what came in my mind now, because Krishna is so humble. You know, the humility of Krishna. Actually, not so long ago, I read that actually everybody knows Krishna is appearing like in a form of a small baby. He could appear like Superman or something like this, like, you know, like a huge guy. He's like the supreme. He's like the supremost. He's the strongest. He's the best. But actually, he's so humble. He's coming like a small child. But still, he's so powerful. In some sense, that was my first thought. I was thinking, ja, ist nichts unterlegen. Es gibt nichts Höheres, nichts Unterlegenes, nichts Kleineres und nichts Größeres als den Herrn. Actually, he can be the most, I don't know, I can only, because Krishna is so unlimited in everything, that I can only connect it with his humility. Maybe this is not, I hope it gives some kind of satisfaction to you, but even I try to get further in this thought. Maybe we can figure out something more, but or maybe somebody has something to edit.
Or maybe he says he is everything. The lowest, highest.
Yeah, actually from him comes everything. Actually, who should be something else, something better, something smaller, something higher, something. He is everything. You know, in some sense, it's not possible to add something more, smaller, bigger, knowledgeable, stronger, more inferior, whatever, because he could be everything at the same time. Anyway, it's often very tricky to think in these ways. But it's a good question. But actually, even we don't get a conclusion, we get the conclusion, Krishna is so nice, Krishna is so amazing. Actually, we try to text our brain what could be, we try to find something, but on the conclusion, okay, Krishna, only Krishna. Okay, we give up because we don't find something. Like he's telling, there's no truth beyond me. Like we cannot find something better, you know? We cannot find a better explanation or a better inferior or whatever. Thank you for your question. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Just about Gokula's question.
Yeah.
Still, sorry. Me personally, it made me think of, I don't know how far physics are today, but I thought that the smallest part is one atom, or are we already inferior now? So to not let us forget that he's even in the smallest particles, even in the atoms. Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mataji. Yeah, he's the source of everything. He cannot go beyond. Or please?
Maybe I can help you. I don't need it, I don't think so.
Yeah, but somebody is online also.
Imagine that you are just dreaming, yeah? And
and nothing else is bigger than your dream, and nothing else is smaller than your dream. But when you stop to dreaming, you are lying in bed and you are dreaming. When you stop your dreaming, your dream disappears. We are a dream of the Lord. When if the Lord stops to dream our dream, then we will disappear suddenly, so forth. You know, that's why there is nothing higher than the dream of the Lord and nothing lower than the dream of the Lord. He can just stop dreaming, und das ist in der Bhagavad Gita is called as kalpas. And a kalpa is 1,000 of years. A kalpa, the hour of an kalpa is in 1,000 of years. Yeah, 1,000 of years. And when these kalpas come to the end, then the universe disappears, and then begins a new dream. Yeah, that's why there is nothing higher, nothing lower than the Lord, because we are a dream of the Lord. It is difficult to understand, but this is true. This is true.
Thank you very much.
This is world that you see. This material world is a dream of the Godhead.
We had one more question. Thank you very much. Thank you for the explanation. We have 2 questions. Maybe you had a question? Maybe please at first him, because he was the very beginning. And then please you also.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question on the topic of the emotional connection to the
Yeah.
Lord, because this makes the relationship real.
Yeah, it can help.
Yes, but I forgot. I don't really get it.
In German maybe? Or maybe in German is easier for you?
Ja, ich wollte fragen,
Please speak into the
ich
microphone
wollte
for the
fragen,
lecture.
ob
They
du
hear.
Erklärungen geben könntest, wie man sich emotional verbinden kann mit Krishna, dass es eher zur Realisierung kommt.
Ja, das ist eine gute Frage. Danke für die Frage. Als Brahmachari bin ich auch nicht das beste Beispiel dafür. Wir müssen meistens lernen, von Emotionen, also nicht frei zu werden, aber damit etwas vorsichtig umzugehen. Aber auf der anderen Seite merke ich, das hat mir sehr gut getan im Brahmachari-Leben. Aber man muss dann auch wieder lernen, man muss mit den Emotionen sehr streng umgehen, weil sonst wird man sentimental. Kennt ihr das? Es gibt den Oh, sorry, I speak now in German. Again, back to English, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, we have to be aware that we are not become sentimental. We know this word mental, but also sentimental. And yeah, this is connected with the sentiments, actually, with emotions, with some happenings or some connections are there, and there automatically something happens in us or something is moving in us, some emotions. And we can try to control these emotions, that we don't become too over sentimental or it's like, oh, everything nice, everything love and whatever. Then it becomes like too much. It's also not good. This is not controlled. We should somehow control them, and then we can train to be more conscious with emotions, to deal more conscious with emotions. If you understand, you can deal with them in a way where it is really necessary or okay or not okay. For example, for a renounced person is not so good to have maybe a very close sentimental relationship with a woman, for example. He should be a little bit controlled with this.
I meant it more in the way.
Yeah, for Krishna. But at least we can learn this a little bit. But afterward, I also see actually, then it's important to again open up. But if you learned to control emotions, then you can also better focus your emotions to the Supreme. And for sure, this is a long way. I cannot give maybe a short part answer what you can take, and then you can have perfect emotions to the Lord. But if you are more focused and don't spread your emotions everywhere and try to keep them back, in a positive sense, not in a negative sense that we are doing nothing, but in a relevant sense, you know when to do what and how far. And then you learn this at first, and then afterwards you can have hopefully a better connection. Then you're more clear about you and your different external relationships. External, I say, with the world and with persons. And then you can hopefully better connect to Krishna. Then you get more peace, hopefully more sattva gun, and then you are more peaceful, and then you can focus more on the Lord. And this is also like a long way. I mean, I'm not on the end of my spiritual life, and I don't know who, but hopefully you are. But I don't experience it so deep. But actually, then we can connect our emotions more to Krishna. Then we have to work on it, that we really get emotions. And again, what I told before, if Satchidananda Swami told that we should try to develop, actually we can try in this way. This could be like a good instruction. If you read, for example, Krishna book, there are, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam, there are stories, and there are also like sometimes really heavy things are happening, like emotionally, somebody's dying or head is cut off, or whatever, so many things are happening. You can try to be a little bit, I mean, I don't know if we can play it, but we could be a little bit, wow, what was happening? You know? You can try to connect some emotions, and these stories are connected with Krishna. I don't know, sometimes I experienced, if, for example, what is an Krankenwagen, emergency car, or what is the name? Ambulance car. Maybe some of you experienced, if maybe one car is passing, maybe you get a little bit emotional. Whoa, somebody maybe died or something happened. Or you see an accident. Or you see somebody suffering, something happens, somebody's falling on the ground. You're wow, it's like, it strikes you a little bit. You experience something? Then some emotions are coming, and we can train this, that we have real emotions. In some senses, maybe when we're reading, and then we try to develop really to go in, to be conscious at first that we should have emotions, and it's a practice. And then hopefully by time we can guide them in the good direction and deepen it. This I can say you, like for practice, I hope it helps you a little bit. Thank you. Maybe, I don't know if it's okay, if you, we're a little bit over time, but.
I think we ended. It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay, only if you have the question, because you had it. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Please visit again and again. Maybe for the next time we will see each other. I'm sometimes also here. And thank you very much for your attention. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Munindragana Prabhu ki
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for speaking on this 7th chapter, Jnana Vijnana Yoga chapter, bringing Krishna, showing how to connect the material knowledge and also the spiritual one. And also thank you for such a short notice to coming here and speaking and in English. But I think your soft and humorous nature made it really nice today. Thank you, Prabhu. And before I let you go to the prasadam, just one announcement. Sorry, can I have your attention, please? I have an announcement. Next week we have His Holiness Satchidananda Maharaj visiting Zurich. He's coming on Friday and Saturday. We'll have a program Friday evening. He's going to show, he names it Multi-Dimensional Show, so it's about Vrindavan. Please come. And also on Saturday morning he's going to give the Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. And so please, everyone who has time or can make time, come and get this opportunity. Friday, I think, evening 7 o'clock, I think. I have to check. Then I wish you a happy feast. Hare Krishna. Good day. Genau, der Vater ist gerade in Mai, meine Schwester. Das wieder nachfordern.
Ist das auseinander?